thought you were gonna say, I'm Morgan, and then I was gonna say, I'm Evan.
Hi, I'm Morgan,
I'm Evan.
and welcome to Coaster Keepers.
We've been thinking about making a YouTube channel for quite some time now. And being that we're in quarantine, we really don't have any more excuses to put it off. So this is our YouTube channel. We're gonna talk about all things adventure. We love roller coasters, of course, as that's in the name. Amusement parks, Disney parks, all kinds of different things. Food is gonna be probably a big topic as well in our videos. So we're gonna talk about all things adventure, and we're gonna make different kinds of videos. We'll be starting out with kind of park reviews, looking back at our trips. But hopefully, here soon, we'll be able to actually get out to some new parks that we haven't been to before, or some old parks that we have been to, and do some vlogs and things like that. We'll also probably do some coaster ranking videos and park ranking videos and things. So we're gonna have all kinds of different content.
We actually were able to take a trip to Disney World right before Walt Disney World shut down. And it was my first trip ever to Disney World and our first trip together as a couple. So we went for 5 days at the beginning of March 2020, and we did all 4 Disney World parks, and then we did Hollywood Studios twice, and we also did Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure on one of the days of our trip.
Yeah, and because now our adventures, of course, are currently on hold as we are quarantining, we decided to start off our channel kind of going back and reviewing the different Disney parks and the days that we got to experience there. So that's what we're going to start out doing. If things sound kind of weird, sorry about that. Of course, we are new to this, but also we are over Zoom as we're self-distancing 2 hours away from each other right now. So if things sound weird, sorry about that. I did want to start off just this video with a special thanks to my brother and his husband, because this trip would not have been possible without them. They live in Orlando, and they graciously allowed us to stay in their house, and they even dropped us off at the parks and picked us up each day, which was super nice. So many, many thanks to them. And we even got to play with their 2 adorable puppies, Luna and Tony. So that was a great time. So starting off actually talking about our first day was at Magic Kingdom. Of course, we had to start out with the original park of Disney World. And we kind of had some trouble getting into the park at the beginning. We planned to get dropped off at the Contemporary Resort and just walk over there, but I got lost and I didn't really know where I was going. But I knew the monorail was in the Contemporary, and I was like, perfect, we'll just go in the hotel, take the monorail to the Magic Kingdom. But apparently that didn't quite work out. The monorail actually took us back to the Transportation and Ticketing Center, which is where we were trying to avoid with all the crowds and everything in the first place. But then we decided to just take the ferry over. I guess we took the monorail and then we took the ferry actually into the park. So it kind of worked out. We kind of got both experiences of how you would go into Magic Kingdom normally. So that was just a funny start to the day.
Yeah, and for me, being my first time to Magic Kingdom, it was kind of cool to get to see every way I could enter the park. So although it was kind of a mistake, it ended up being fun.
It was exactly as I planned.
Yeah. So first things first, we got into the park and we had to find, I had just recently seen on TikTok that somebody posted a video of a giant Mickey-shaped donut, chocolate donut with sprinkles, and donuts are my favorite. And it was breakfast time, so we were like, okay, we got in, let's go try to get that donut at the Starbucks on Main Street. Headed there, turns out they discontinued the donut, but we were told that we could get it somewhere else in the park. So we searched all day. We didn't have any luck, but
I mean, the thing that I think is so weird is that all throughout all the parks, they had like magnets and like little squishies of Mickey donuts, but there was nowhere you could actually buy a Mickey donut. So I was kind of confused. I was like, what's happening with this? So plenty of donut merch, no actual donuts, unfortunately. But after that, we had a fast pass for the Haunted Mansion. That was our first fast pass of the day. So we headed to the Haunted Mansion. But on our way, we saw that Pirates of the Caribbean, this was still right about when the park was opening, Pirates of the Caribbean had no wait. So of course we had to run over and do that on our way to Haunted Mansion. So Morgan, what did you think of your first ever ride at Disney World, Pirates of the Caribbean?
So I thought that my first ride was going to be Haunted Mansion, and then it ended up being that we got to ride Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm so glad that was my first ride. I loved it. I've noticed that I liked a lot of the boat rides, so I think it's fitting that that was my first ride. I thought it was a super magical way to start my day.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic ride. I love it every time. There's just something about it, especially with all the boat rides. I don't know if you noticed this, but they have this like certain smell of like Disney boat rides. And being that our first ride, it just like put us into that Disney mode, at least for me, having been on the ride before. But so that was our first ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, a classic. And then we did make our way over to Haunted Mansion. And I was a little bit worried that we weren't going to be able to ride Haunted Mansion because it had been closed, I saw online a couple days before. But we didn't have any trouble. We got on, used our fast pass, and it was great.
So I really liked the Haunted Mansion. I thought just the exterior was honestly even cool. To like waiting in line, it was so cool. Um, that was like I think that was the moment when I was like, wow, this is gonna be an awesome trip. Like I'm so excited, and we like I thought at first that Haunted Mansion was just like a walk through, and then we got on what are they called?
The
Because
Doom buggies.
anyway, I thought it was going to be that we were just going to walk through it because that's how it was when you walk through like the stretching room and all the pre-ride stuff. But when we got into the
Doom buggy.
dune buggies,
Yeah.
that was so cool. I loved that part.
And Haunted Mansion is my mom's favorite ride. So every time I ride it, I think of her and it just puts me in a good mood.
Okay, the next thing that we went on was Jungle Cruise. I guess I didn't really know what to expect. I know a lot of people say that's like one of their favorite rides. But I thought that our skipper was really funny. We were like seated right at the front of the boat on the right side, so I thought we were in a really good place on the ride. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought we were in a good spot. We could see everything. I think there was a couple little kiddos across from us, which is always fun. We'll probably mention more. We love riding the rides with the little kids to see their reactions. And another thing that was a little worrying is a couple days before we went to Magic Kingdom, one of the Jungle Cruise boats started like slowly sinking and like filled up with water. But everyone was fine, and he said that like the most that happened was people getting their feet wet. But luckily, no sinking boats when we went on Jungle Cruise either. But the next thing we did, of course, at the Magic Kingdom and at Disney World in general, we had to get Dole Whip, one of our many Dole Whips throughout the trip. This is our first one though, and we got the I Lava You Float. It's at the Sunshine Tree Terrace in Adventureland, and it is so good. It was orange Dole Whip with Fanta strawberry soda, red passion fruit juice, and red pop rocks, and it just looks and tastes so good. Um, I don't know. It was amazing. I loved it. We also got a picture with our Dole Whip hats that we got from the Disney outlets before the trip.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the float?
So we did take a picture with our Dole Whip hats and ears. That was actually a gift that Evan got me for Christmas before our trip. So thank you, Evan. Um, so it might be my first time at Disney World, but it wasn't my first time having Dole Whip. I must say that they do everything better at Disney World. That float was so good. It was probably one of my favorite things that we had on the whole trip. The whole time I was just craving having another one. We should have got two.
We should have. We should have got to for sure. So after that, we were kind of walking towards Fantasyland, towards the castle, and we walked kind of into the middle of Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, the show that they have going on there. And that was really fun. It was Mickey and all of his friends. And when we walked, I think they were singing with all the Frozen characters, which was really cool to see that like interaction between them. Um, we didn't really plan on seeing the show ahead of time, but I thought it was really cute. What do you think, Morgan?
I thought we had a lot of luck into walking in stuff like that. Like we heard them singing "Let It Go," and so we were walking toward the castle to get where we needed to go next, and we were really close up to the front near the stage, and we got to see a couple songs. We got to see the grand finale, which is the best part anyway.
Of course.
um the singing, the dancing, all the choreography all the characters did was so cute to watch. And actually I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, next time I would actually try to watch it from the beginning because I really enjoyed it.
Evan and I are ride people, so I think like you'll notice that we stumbled into a lot of these things, and not to say we're also theater people, so we enjoy that too. But we went there to ride, so it's just kind of funny how it worked out.
Yeah, we definitely lucked out there. The next part of our trip, we certainly did not luck out, and this was my fault. So one of our big things we wanted to do was go to the Be Our Guest restaurant in the new Fantasyland area. And I've been to Magic Kingdom a couple times before, but it's been quite a while. I think the last time I went was probably like 2014-ish, right around when the restaurant opened. And I remember specifically going to the restaurant for lunch, and it was just walk up quick service. You didn't have to make any reservations, and you just like wait in a line outside if the restaurant was full or whatever. So we had originally planned to go for dinner, but we were looking at the menu, and it was so much more expensive for dinner than for lunch, and it was like the same ish food. So we were like, let's just go to lunch for lunch. So we canceled our reservation. We walked over there, and of course, we find out that it has changed, and you need a reservation at all times during the day. So we did not get to go to Be Our Guest. That was my bad. So that was kind of disappointing, but
We'll just
you
have
know,
to go again.
we'll have to go again. And now we know we have to make a reservation next time. So
And and Evan, it's okay because Evan is, and he was kind of the expert because I've never been. So he really helped and made the trip so special for me. So it's really okay.
well, thank you. We got a pretty good lunch though.
Yeah, I was doing some research on the Disney app, and I was like, well, we're over here. Let's find somewhere to eat. And we were still looking for that donut. So I found the Pinocchio Village House restaurant. We split a meat lover's flatbread, which was really good.
It
Um,
was.
we had that, and that place, they didn't. The line was pretty quick. Everyone there was really helpful, but unfortunately, we wanted to get the tangled. It was called the Tangled Wall Eclair, like a tangled themed donut, and unfortunately, it was like on the menu, but I think they were just out for the day because um, they told us they didn't have any. So sad, but it's okay.
Yeah. Flatbread was good. Unfortunately, we missed the mark again with the eclair, but it was okay. It was definitely good for a lunch. And as you'll notice, we kind of did a lot of splitting smaller meals throughout the day. I would definitely recommend that if you're just like a couple or a group of two going to Disney. You get to try many like more things that way, and that worked out really well for us. And so after that, we were over in the area, so we decided to do the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, one of the newer rides in the past like 5-ish, 6-ish years that opened up. So Morgan, what do you think of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train?
I liked the Seven Dwarfs and Snow White theme of the ride. Um, to to go when we talk about the other rides in that area, I will say that was not my favorite of the train coaster mountain rides.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It might be kind of an unpopular opinion, but this is not one of my favorite rides at Magic Kingdom. I remember when it opened up, it had a lot of hype. It was new, and I remember the big thing was about like the coaster supposed to be like swaying on the tracks, which it does, but not really that much. So that was kind of disappointing. And for me, it's just it always had such a long line, and then for me, it's just not as much worth the wait as some of the other things that I would do in Magic Kingdom. So it doesn't seem like it was either of our favorites, but still a good ride. And if you have kids, I would say it's probably better because there is good theming.
It was like middle of the day. It was kind of hot, and we were just looking for something to sit down for a little bit. So I pointed at the Liberty Square riverboat, and I was like, yeah, let's just do that. There was hardly anyone on it with us. I'm sure that's kind of how it always is. It's pretty big. And I thought it was really fun. I liked being able to see everything, like kind of taking the little tour of that area of the park.
Yeah, it was a nice, relaxing time. We kind of did it, I think, while we were waiting for our next fast pass, so we didn't have anything else really to do. And one thing, I don't think I told you this, Morgan, but apparently, according to my family, they used to like take a little kid that was on each ride and take them up to like the driver, and they would let them like pretend to drive the boat. Apparently, my brother drove the boat way back in the day when he was little. I think before I was born. But we did not see any little kids driving the boat this time, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm excited to talk about this one. This was my favorite ride, probably of the whole trip, definitely of the day. Um,
Mhm.
it was Splash Mountain. So like I said, I didn't really know much. I know Disney, but I didn't really know much about the ride. I obviously can see that there's a big hill and you splash down at the end, but I didn't realize that it was, first of all, such a long ride. And second of all, like so cute and adorable. I love just cruising through. Like I said, boat rides are my favorite. So I loved cruising through. All the music was so fun. Um, all the animatronics and the story of the ride. I could not, like the whole time I was like, this is so much fun. This is so fun. We're at Disney World. That was my favorite. And I made a Disney playlist on Spotify and I still listen to the Splash Mountain music.
Yeah, when you had told me like how much you liked Splash Mountain afterwards, I was kind of surprised. But then I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great ride. It's a water ride, but you don't get too wet. But like on hot days, you get a little bit wet, which is nice. It helps you cool off. Yeah, and it is really long, and there's a fun story, of course, that goes along with it. So Splash Mountain definitely got a thumbs up on that.
And I will say too, like that day, I think I wore my sweatshirt most of the day and we got wet on the ride, but it didn't really bother me. Like I wouldn't say that you shouldn't go on the ride because you're afraid to get wet. Other
Yeah,
rides, yes, but not that one.
right. Even my dad can go on it, and he hates water rides, so you don't get that wet. Next, we did Big Thunder Mountain, right over into Frontierland. And what do you think of that, Morgan?
Big Thunder Mountain, I enjoyed it. Um, Definitely better than Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Sorry, but I really enjoyed Big Thunder Mountain. Um, it was fun. I think if that was like your first roller coaster, that would be a really good ride.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Why I'm like disappointed in Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is because I think they personally have a better version of it in Big Thunder Mountain, which was built like 40 years earlier. So I just feel like Big Seven Dwarfs is kind of redundant, and I think Big Thunder Mountain is even more fun. And maybe it's just because it's like a classic, and it kind of has that history behind it. Maybe that's why I like it. After that, we kind of lucked out again, as we were talking about earlier. We had kind of planned to see the parade, but it was right around when our fast pass was, so we weren't like stressing too much about it. But we actually were able to see almost all of the parade pretty much right by the castle, which really worked out for us. It was the Festival of Fantasy parade, of course. What did you think of the parade?
Yeah, we walked into the parade. We were right if you're standing at the castle and looking toward Main Street, um, we were right on the left side of the castle. So we had a really good view. We are actually elevated a little bit and I'm pretty short. So I was actually able to see the parade really well. I think we saw most of it. We probably missed the beginning, but we heard the beginning. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we made it right at the end when all the princesses were there, and I don't. I'm going to talk about it anyway. I thought um, the Maleficent dragon was amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing. You'll have to
it
see.
was. Yeah, it was very cool. And it's not too much of a spoiler because it's It's literally on like the Disney app. There's a picture of it. But yeah, the dragon float is awesome. And like you said, we're in a really good location. We didn't have any like tall dads with their kids on their shoulders in front of us or anything like that. And we were able to see it really well, which was really nice.
We took our picture in front of the castle right after the parade too.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of people taking pictures, so we got a picture with no one else in the background. Another family helped us, so that was awesome. And it's really cute.
They did actually like repaint the castle right after we were there. So it's kind of interesting that I feel like we were one of the last couple days of the old castle look. But I've seen some pictures of the new look and it looks really nice as well. So that'll be really cool. Then we had to run and of course get a snack. And we went over to the lunching pad in Tomorrowland. I'm a big soft pretzel guy. I love soft pretzels. So I had to get my Mickey pretzel over there. And we got a Mickey pretzel. We got a churro with the chocolate sauce. And then we got a Coca-Cola slushie with a candy straw. And it was like rock candy on the paper straw. And it was, I think, green apple.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good. It was, I mean, I loved, of course, the churro and the pretzel. Those are classics. And then the Coke slushie with that candy straw had a really interesting taste.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate snack place, the launching pad, like, or the lunching the lunching pad.
Yeah, lunch. Gotta get the pun in there.
The lunching pad. Yeah, I think that's a really great place if you wanted to try like a pretzel, churro, and a slushie. That's a really good place.
Mm-hmm. I think they also had a Buzz Lightyear slushie, which looked really cool. It was, I think, green apple and grape. Yeah, if you know me, I do not like grape artificial flavoring, probably because of medicine as a kid. But that also looked really good too. Then we went over and we did Mickey's PhilharMagic, the show over there in Fantasyland. And I always enjoy it. It's a nice time to sit down and relax. The one thing is, something at the beginning of the show, we both noticed this. It was like really blurry with our 3D glasses on. And it got better a couple minutes in, but it was like almost making me sick at first couple minutes, but then it got better. So it ended up being all right.
We both looked over at each other and we like both took the glasses off. I still really like that. And I love the building that's in. Like, I love how they have, when you're waiting in the queue, they have all the different musicals themed at.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that was really fun for us as musical theater people too, to look at all the musical Disney like themed posters that they have in there. After that, we rode Peter Pan's Flight. And how'd you like Peter Pan's Flight, Morgan?
I really liked Peter Pan's flight. That was cute. I like the perspective because you're above it and the show is like below you. It does feel like you're flying, and that's what they meant to do. But I think that was really the only ride that was like that we went on. So I liked it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a really unique take on like the classic dark ride kind of feel. And I think it was refurbished not too long ago, I think a couple years ago. So it looked a lot brighter and like better than the last time I had been on it. So I was really surprised. And everything just looked really good. And got to see Captain Hook fighting Peter Pan. Captain Hook's one of my favorites, as I was a young Captain Hook in Peter Pan the Ballet once upon a time. Fun fact about me. What do we do next, Morgan?
We met Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. Yeah, we got some really good pictures with Buzz. I had some Buzz Lightyear ears, Mickey ears from my past trips. So I put those on. He really liked them. And he told me, of course, to take Morgan on his ride as a little date. He was telling us to, go on his shooting ride. So then we did. And what do you think of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin?
So Toy Story is my favorite Disney movie. So this whole part was so fun for me. Buzz was awesome. His ride was really awesome. I wish I knew how to actually win. I don't think I got any points. I really don't.
You got some points, just not as many as me.
Also, it was hard because I just wanted to watch everything. I wanted to just enjoy it. So
Basically enjoy it.
just enjoy it.
Yeah. So that was fun. I beat Morgan, but yeah, you're right. The first time riding it is more of like watching everything than actually trying to get the highest score. And next we had another disappointment. Not that we had that many disappointments. It was a really great trip, more
It,
sarcastically, but we went to ride the Tomorrowland Transit People Mover. We got right up to the loading station, and unfortunately, it went down for a mechanical issue. And it looked the way it looked from the people up there. It looked like it was going to be down for more than like a couple minutes. So we just decided to go do something else. So we missed out on the People Mover, unfortunately.
but we did get to ride the Tomorrowland Speedway, the cars that you drive. I got to drive. I got to go really fast. Not really. I kept trying to go really fast, but that was a fun activity for us to do.
Yeah, it was fun. That was another ride that I'm like, I want to ride this with a little kid and have them drive. I think that would be a lot of fun. So we did Carousel of Progress, one of the original rides for Disney World. What did you think about it, Morgan?
I thought Carousel of Progress was one of the highlights. It wasn't like the Disney Magic like imaginary world. It was more like real life and the history of technology, and I thought it was really cool. I think it shocked me that the last scene in that ride was meant to be like the future. That's what Evan told me.
Yeah, that's what it was originally constructed as, like the future view. But it's funny because everything that's in the last scene is now pretty commonplace with the, audio talking to your oven and the VR gaming and everything like that. So that's really interesting. I wonder if they're ever gonna put another scene in there or anything, but they'd probably have to take an old one out. So probably not. I don't know. Next door, we rode, of course, the Mad Tea Party teacups, and I had to tell Morgan not to spin too fast because I can do roller coasters and any of those kind of thrill rides for days, but if I get on spinny rides, I can get a little queasy. So we didn't go too fast, but we still spun around.
That was one of those rides that I had to go on because that was always like the Disney World experience. Like you have to ride the teacups and you have to take a picture in front of the castle. So that was something I really looked forward to. I think it would have been a lot more fun if I was 5 years old, but we had a good time.
Yeah. Then you said you always saw it in the little VHSs that Disney used to send people as
Oh,
their marketing.
Disney vacation planning VHS videos. I watched every single one. That was always in there.
Yeah. Bring those back. And next we got to ride Space Mountain. What do you think, Morgan?
Space Mountain was awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, it's one of my favorites, especially at Magic Kingdom. And I was surprised. I was doing some research after the fact on Space Mountain. I was surprised it goes like 30 miles per hour. And I was like, there's no way it's that slow. Because you're inside, you're in the darkness, and it just feels like you're going so much faster. So even though it might not be the fastest ride in the world, I still think it's a lot of fun. And someday I would really like to do Space Mountain with the lights turned on. I don't know how I'd be able to get that that gig, but because the track is just so close on top of itself and things like that. I think it'd be a really cool experience.
I I think too, like the setup, because I don't think I've ever rode a ride where it was like you sit like that. Yeah, you
Yeah, the single row.
and I was behind him, because it's you don't sit by someone, you sit like in a row,
Yeah, which is unique.
which is unique.
Then we rode another quintessential Disney family ride. We rode Dumbo. What were your thoughts, Morgan?
I kept making Dumbo go up and down. I think that the people working were like, I don't know, like sick of me going up, down, up, down, up, down, and it literally just stopped moving.
Yeah, I think there's certain points in the ride where all the Dumbos go up, which I didn't know. So like if you're controlling it, I think there's a certain point where all the Dumbos go up to the top and then they all go down after that. Um, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that was coincidence. And then we went over talking about snacks again to the Dumbo gift shop, and we got a Mickey caramel apple, and it was so good. It was a caramel apple with chocolate and marshmallows as the Mickey Mouse ears, and then it had peanut butter chips on it, and it was so good.
That we hadn't done a lot of shopping, especially that day, but on our trip in general, that gift shop was dangerous once we got in there. Well, Evan, he might not agree with me, but I think Evan likes to shop the most out of the two.
That's probably true.
I got socks that say best day ever, and they have pretzels, like a soft pretzel, a churro, and Mickey ears on them.
Mhm.
And then what kind of socks did you get?
I'm pretty sure they're Goofy socks that I haven't unpacked from this trip yet, so that's bad. But they're Goofy socks that are like his outfit with like his jeans and his vest and his like yellow shirt and his hat and everything.
And why?
But yeah, Goofy is my favorite Disney character. So of course I had to get the Goofy socks. I have a ton of Goofy pins. I have a whole lanyard of Goofy pins. So it was perfect because Goofy's my favorite character and socks are my favorite clothing item, I guess. I love socks. I got some pickle socks on right now. So yeah, I had to get the Goofy socks when I saw them. That you're right, it was dangerous. And moving along, we did Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. What did you think about that one?
That one. That was really sweet. I love Ariel, so that was cool. I think my favorite part was Ursula. She was
Yeah.
she was creepy scary, and that was
Yeah, she is huge. You get right up in her face. But yeah, it's a fun ride. Another one that's nice and relaxing. You go through in your little clamshell. You get to see all the fish. Under the Sea was another really cool part of that. And then we had dinner, of course, as we've been snacking throughout the day. We still had an appetite for dinner. We had dinner at Sleepy Hollow over in Liberty Square, and we got the sweet and spicy chicken and waffle sandwich. Morgan, what are your thoughts about that?
it was great. I loved it. I feel like I have to describe it. So it was like a Belgian waffle folded in half with a chicken strip breaded, covered in sweet and spicy, their own sweet and spicy sauce, and then there was like a sweet slaw on it. It kind of tasted like a honey slaw. So
Yeah.
it perfect for me, the perfect amount of spice, crunch, and I love chicken and waffles, so that was really cool too. What'd you
Yeah,
think?
we'll probably have a picture of it to try to show you too. But I really liked it. However, I didn't like the slaw too much, the slaw part of it. I'm not a big like coleslaw fan or anything like that. And I think this slaw also had broccoli, which I don't know what it is for me, but I just like can't do broccoli. I don't like it. So I wasn't the biggest fan of the slaw, but I really liked the sauce, the sweet and spicy sauce that they had on the chicken. And I also love chicken and waffles. And then I put some maple syrup on my half of it as well.
That was good on there, the maple syrup.
Yeah. So it made it even more sweet, but still had that hint of spicy that made it really good. And then next, I have in my notes, Morgan took some wild picks. So I think we were just kind of, I don't know, walking around Liberty Square and you wanted to go take pictures knocking on the doors and like sitting on the porches of things. So that was funny.
We had all this sugar, and I was just ready to run around Magic Kingdom. I was
Yeah,
having a great time, honestly. I was just being goofy.
right. And then what did we get to do next?
We got to meet Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
So we went up to the front of the park.
Town Hall Theater, I think.
Yeah, we went to that. And then we got to meet Mickey, and he was so sweet. He was so
He
nice.
was.
I felt bad because our pen didn't work. And he was like,
Yeah, he was struggling.
we have matching autograph books that Evan's parents got for us before we went, which was so nice. So thank you.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
But we had the autograph books, and Mickey's like, it did not work for him. So, but he was so sweet.
No. Yeah, we had to have one of the cast members lend us a pen for a second. But yeah, he doesn't talk anymore, but still just a great experience. We love Mickey Mouse.
And then at the end of the day, of course, we had to stay for fireworks. And something I was really looking forward to. It was getting crowded, and
Yeah.
you want to talk about where we sat?
Yeah, so we were actually able to find a really great spot in the outdoor seating area by the Plaza restaurant. If you're walking towards the castle, it's right on the right side at the end of Main Street, across from Casey's Corner there. And yeah, we were kind of looking around for a spot. All the tables were kind of taken. And then we noticed a bigger family ended up moving to a different spot. They had other family members that I guess they said had a better spot. So they let us take their table, which was really nice. So we were able to sit and see the fireworks and the happily ever after show, sitting down with a great view. So couldn't really beat it.
We had a great view. I thought the ending was so amazing. So if you ever get a chance to see this show, I would definitely recommend it, especially on your first time at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. I had seen Wishes in the past, which if you remember Wishes, it was good, but I think I liked this show even better. And that was the end of our day at Magic Kingdom. It was a really good day. We got to do almost everything that we wanted to do. So we'll just go through like an overall recap. So I think you kind of talked about this already, but what was your favorite ride of the day at Magic Kingdom?
My favorite ride was Splash Mountain. What was yours?
I would say mine is Space Mountain. I still love the coasters, and even though it's not the craziest coaster out there, it's still a lot of fun, and I still enjoy it every time. I am really excited. We got to see a little bit of the construction for Tron that they're building in Tomorrowland, and that looks really cool. So I'm hoping to be able to go back when that opens, and I don't know yet, but it's looking like it might become maybe my future favorite ride at Magic Kingdom.
What was your favorite food?
That's tough. I said I love the Mickey pretzels, of course, but I think the I Lava You float was so good and it was really unique. Yeah, that was amazing. I would definitely recommend that for all the Dole Whip lovers.
The
What
Island
about you?
Boat was also my favorite. I hope they still have it because I think it was supposed to be like a special edition item. So I hope they still have it.
Yeah,
I know I'm gonna try to make some at home because it's
yeah.
so good. And I think my favorite memory from the day, well, it was just spending the day with you. That was my favorite memory. Magic Kingdom was like, I'm so glad that was our first day in Disney World because that really started things off. So magical, and they just have everything there. Like it was so cool to be in a place that like Walt Disney himself imagined.
My favorite memory, again, just getting to spend the day with you and it being your first time, just being with you through all the first times on all the rides, I think was awesome. And when I first got there, there's something also just about being at Disney World and being at Magic Kingdom that's like, it's just a whole different feeling. I just was smiling when we walked in and I was like, I forget how fun it was here. I forgot how happy it is to be here. So
And
it truly is.
when we first got there in the morning, Evan like turned to me and he was like, I just love it here. And that to my heart because like seeing how much he enjoyed it and how many memories he had, it really put me in a good mood about the park.
So that's our recap of Magic Kingdom. It was a really fun day for us. We really enjoyed it. We were tired. We were waiting to go back to the transportation and ticketing center, and Morgan was like, I swear, falling asleep, standing up, waiting for the monorail. But that just means we did everything and we used up all of our energy, which is good. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. This is going to be hopefully our first video of many. That's the goal. So that's all I have to say.
So stay tuned. We will have another episode talking about our next day in the park and the rest of our time at Walt Disney World. Thank you.
Thank you.